Hello and welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to show you how I made my daughter's Winnifred costume. Last week and the week before I showed you how I made my Mary and Sarah costume. If you would like to look at those, I will leave a link in the description below for both those videos and in the iCards above. This dress consists of a base dress that's green and purple and a coat. For the base dress, I made a mock-up of the style I wanted, and then I used the mock-up as a pattern. The dress will be mainly this green satin material. In the front, there will be a purple stretch panel. I wanted the bottom of the dress to be a lot more flowy than what my mock-up was, so here I'm cutting the bottom of the dress out farther. This dress is lined with this same material. And here I'm just cutting out 3/4 length sleeves because the bottom of the sleeves will actually be a lace material. And this purple stretch will be the front panel of the dress. And this purple stretch material I chose because I did not want to put any closures on the dress, so this will allow the dress just to simply go over her head. I did attach the green to the purple panel just with pins so that way I can get the loops made out of purple ribbon because it will have lacings on the front of it. And I just used a 1/2 inch satin purple ribbon. I cut about a 3-inch strip off it. I did singe the edges of the ribbon so it didn't fray. And I did space them about 1 inch apart from each other on the purple material. Here I'm just folding the top edge down so that way I can hem it up. Once the loops are pinned on, I go ahead and give it a stitch to hold those loops onto the purple part. Once those loops are on the purple panel, I go ahead and put together the green part of the dress with the shoulder seams and the side seams. And I do the same thing to the lining. Once the green is put together, I go ahead and stitch the purple panel onto the front of the dress. And I do top stitch the green onto the purple so that it looks like the purple is actually underneath the green. Once that's done, it's time to go ahead and attach the sleeves. I just made a simple tube for the sleeves and then I put it on the dress. Once that's all put together, I go ahead and fold out the skirt portion of the dress and I even it up to create a hem. And all I did was serge the bottom of the skirt and then rolled up the hem and sewed it down. For the bottom part of the sleeve, I bought some stretch white lace. I dyed it this purple color and then I made tubes to fit the rest of my daughter's arm and I sewed it to the bottom of the green sleeve. And I did serge all the edges on this dress. For the jacket, I created a mock-up as well for this, and I used the mock-up as a pattern. I bought this stretch velveteen fabric off Etsy, and I bought 3 yards of it. Since the jacket has a collar that sticks up, I did cut some interfacing to stick to the lining material on this collar, and that's what I'm doing here now. And once those pieces are cut out, I go ahead and I stitch together the shoulder seams and the side seams for the jacket and the lining part. And then I go ahead and I sew up the seam for the sleeve and attach it to the jacket. The sleeve does have a little poofiness on top, so here I did run a small gathering stitch at the top of it, and then I gathered it to the size of my armhole. With the collar here, I'm just going ahead and using fusible interfacing and adding it to the lining of my jacket just on the collar. With the lining and the jacket fully sewn together, I go ahead and attach them all around the outside edges. Except for the bottom, I do leave that unattached. And I do top stitch the collar and the sides. For the bottom of the coat and the edges of the sleeves, I take some chiffon and I do attach it to the coat in between the lining layer and the green velveteen. And with the chiffon pinned in place, I go ahead and I top stitch it all to secure it in there. For the closure of the coat, I use these gold clips that I stitched on the inside of the coat. And then with the outside, I go ahead and stitch on these greenish tealish jewels over the top of that closure. Now it's time for the embellishments on the coat. With the pearls that go all the way around the edges of the coat, I found these pearl necklaces at Walmart in the jewelry section for $6.88 a piece. You get 2 necklaces and they're each about a yard a piece. I took the larger pearls off there and kept the smaller ones, and then I hand stitched those along the edge of the coat. With the closure and the pearls on, the painting is the last item. I found some reference images of the symbols on the coat. I used some chalk and drew it on first with chalk, and then painted it with my gold paint mixed with some textile medium to make it more flexible and durable. And I did do 2 to 3 coats of this gold paint. And I took my time with this. I had to do one section at a time, wait for it to dry, then put the second coat on it, wait for it to dry, then I can flip it and turn it to a different section and do the same thing over again. And with the wig, I had this aerial wig that I had in my stash for years that I never used. I did soak it in fabric softener for a couple days and then rinse it out and let it dry before I started styling it. For styling the wig, I somewhat used Jacob Hexa's video. I will leave a link to his video down below if you want to take a look, but he explains it much better than what I can. But I do go ahead and brush it all out, put it in curlers, and then use the steam method to set my curls. And then I let it dry overnight. And once the styling of the wig was done, I went ahead and bought some gold fabric spray paint and made it more of a brassier red than that bright aerial red. And here is the final dress. This one was the easiest one, but the most time consuming just because of the paint job. I think Mary's was the more difficult one. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next week. And have a happy and safe Halloween. Bye.